Good evening.
Hi.
Welcome. Hi, thank you for joining us. My name's Barry.
MJ.
And together we are Mitosu Crafts.
Thank you and welcome to our channel. We're independent Stampin' demonstrators based in the UK. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' products from our online shop. Do use the current host code, which can be found on our website at mitosocrafts.com, to receive a handmade card from us the following month, or any extra freebies or gifts if your order qualifies, which is gems. We just say generic gems, so we'll choose the gems, or tutorials as well, designed by the Stamping Glam Squad or Global Creative Project. We put out a couple of live stream throughout the week, so if you'd love to see more papercraft inspirations using Stampin' products, do consider subscribing to our channel. We also do a random draw of the projects that we create during the live stream, so pop in a comment and you'll be automatically put into the random draw. If you are watching the replay, do pop in another comment and then you'll be put into the next random draw. So before we do the random draw for this beautiful card that Barry created last time, we'll say hello to those of you who've already said hello. So
Good. So we have got Connie, Amanda, Steph, Gian, Teresa, Mandy, Maureen, Mum, or Sandra, to everyone else there, sorry. Sherry, Caroline, who else? Sandra BL, Betty, Nola, Kathleen, Carol, Christine, Stuffy, Karen, and that's it so far. So good.
yes, do say hello to Mandy, our Madam Favor Request Commissioner. I think there's one counting commissioner, that's it. And put in your guess for the favors. I have put a poll in the community tab as well, so you can guess. Last month it was a tie, so no one won in the poll as well. And do say hello to our moderator Krista. Hopefully she'll see your questions as well if we miss it. But yes, so we do the random.
And you've got me again tonight, so it's not Jay as planned.
Yes.
We've got me again.
Barry just enjoyed it so much that he did like 5 last month. He wanted to do another one.
Yes, it's only because I wanted to show you how to make this card here.
It's like it's a secret. It's not. Right, we'll do the random draw for this one now.
Yes. So that's the one. Let's come on over. Let's get that one ready, and that's it.
Cool. I'll just
refresh. So we've only 15 of you this time, so a quiet month. Quiet week, should we say.
So good luck, everyone. Ooh. Mandy! Woo!
Well done, Mandy.
Congratulations.
The card will be working its way over to you. So please message us. Details on the screen right now, and we'll pop that in the post to you as soon as possible. So excellent. So lovely. So this is the card which you have won, Mandy. So excellent. Well done. So good. Lovely. So let's just put up everything on there. So good. That's your card working its way over to you. So Jay hasn't done his job tonight and actually got me everything which he would normally get me pre-video. So that isn't going to count instantly.
I ask you, is there anything else you need? Blocks. I got you the.
So where's the normal thing which you normally get me?
Like what?
Like the big,
I don't know if you needed it.
Every week he normally gets it out all the time, constantly. It's a standard thing, so I don't have to ask him for it. It's a natural thing. This week is strategically not giving it to me. So yes, Mandy, that card is on its way to little Barney already. So yeah, so this is a card I wanted to show you how to make. So some of you may have seen this one already, because it was what we had launch on our blog the other day for the for a blog hop which we did using the Butterfly Brilliance Stamp Set, and I liked it so much I actually wanted to show you how to create it, because it's one of those cards that some people are a little bit scared to do because it's a little bit messy and technical. So I wanted to show you and have a play around with it tonight, and then whilst I'm doing that, whilst I'm playing with water and ink, I'm going to do some other stuff as well. So that's that. Now the chart, am I going to be able to recreate this exactly the same as this? No, I'm not. So I don't know how tonight is going to turn out. My prototypes in this one look absolutely I'm happy with, but I'm probably not going to be able to recreate them exactly. But that's the fun thing with water and ink, is that you're never going to be able to recreate it exactly. So what I've got myself a few things first. So for this particular card, I've got myself some basic grey, I've got myself some Magenta Madness, and I've got myself some Vellum. I'm also going to have some of the Fluid 100 cardstock paper here as well, so I'm just going to take one of those sheets out like that. And that's that one. So what I'm going to do is this one right here, I'm going to cut this in half, the Fluid 100, because you can, if you're sensible with it, you can get 2 sheets out to one of these and then make it into the card as well. So this is going to be cut in half at 3 5/8 of an inch, which is apparently halfway. Just need to make sure. I always doubt myself. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this correct here. So which is, so it's 7 inches. So half of 7 is 3 1/2. So actually I need it to be 3 1/2.
It's good that you checked.
It was good that I checked.
I think you were looking at the layer.
I was actually, yes, sorry, yeah. So it's 3 1/2. So if you cut it at 3 1/2, then you will then get 2 pieces suitable for your, so you can do this twice. So that's that one. And then I've gone and cut myself already my Magenta Madness layer, so which will be 3 5/8 of an inch by 5 1/8 of an inch, and then that there is going to go like that, like so. Okay. Save this bit for later on. It's not actually, I may use that one for the second card. Actually, it'll make it a little bit smaller, but we will see what happens. Card base, I normal thing, cut it at 14.6 centimeters by 21. Score it at 10.5 centimeters. Sorry, I'm flicking between centimeters and inches, but that's just how my brain works. I'm so sorry to confuse you.
And these cards are for our customers, isn't it? So you do need to make loads. Not loads.
No, I don't think these are.
Is it not?
No.
Is that not the one that you put on the blog haul?
Yeah, that wasn't for the customers though. That wasn't the customer thank yous.
Oh no, it's not.
Of course, don't scare me like that, Jay. I'm thinking, Steph, I'm not going to make this umpteen times.
It's a good one.
It is a good one, no, but this isn't our customer thank you card. If Jay wants it to be our customer thank you card, then he can be making lots of them, because I'm definitely not going to be making it. Oh dear, it'll take me ages. So that's that. So that's basically how those two things work, like that. So, yes, and thank you to everyone who has purchased from us throughout the week and donated to our channel. We really appreciate your customs, so thank you very much. So what I'm going to do for this is I am going to grab I've got myself a craft sheet. So this is just something which you'll pick up, and you can use all sorts. Some people use acetate, some people use the baking ones. This is obviously the proper craft sheet, which we got from a craft show, I think, at some point. But you just need something that is going to repel the ink and isn't going to absorb it. So that's it. So I'm going to go down like this. I am going to need a spritzer, which again I thought I got ready, but here it is. I panic every time, thinking, he's moved it. He's gone along and moved it. So you're going to need one of your Stampin spritzers, or again something to spritz with. We will need an ink pad. So for this one, Magenta Madness. Magenta Madness, spritzer, and your watercolour paper. Okay. Now, don't be tempted to put too much of this down. You really only need a little bit of this, and a little bit is going to go a long way. So I'm just literally going to, I'm not going to smoosh it all down. I'm just going to just pop like a strip down in the middle like that. That's all I'm going to do, and that should be enough. If anything, that might even be a little bit too much actually as well. But I'm going to grab my spritzer, and I am going to make sure the spritzer is pointing down, because I have known people to do it and they've done it on the side and it's gone shut off. And I'm just going to, do you like my sound effects? And I'm just going to get that, and I'm going to get it quite juicy, and I'm going to use that to move it around. So you do need to be careful with anything around. And then, because I want it just to go down the middle, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to splodge it in the middle and then pick up. See again, and that's it. That's kind of where I want it to leave it. Got a lot more down here than what I did on the original one, but that's fine. The tip which is going to be good to do now is to dry this. So I'm going to grab this, I'm just going to grab my heat tool and I'm just going to dry this. And whilst you're drying it, if you kind of use it so that the heat will move the water droplets back into it again, you'll also create different effects. That's dry enough for now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in again and pick up. So I'm kind of concentrating more in the centre part, so I'm kind of buckling a little bit, and then I'm just going to go over again, and then that is going to add like another layer, and it's going to add some more mess around. So this is a lot more messy. You can see it's never going to work out exactly the same again. If necessary, I can just add a little bit more water down here, just to dilute this a little bit, and just add a little bit more in there. And dry. So I think the secret to this is dry in between and add your layers. That's that. Okay, so that there is my messy background. So it's a lot more spread out than my original one. I'm going to put that down to the fact that I'm sitting down rather than standing up. Sometimes I find standing up, depends if you can or want to, standing up whilst crafting sometimes is I can get over it a little bit more and have a bit more control. So it's purely down to you, but that's what I did when I did my original one. It's mind over matter. I just see, and when I'm not doing this on camera, obviously I haven't got a big camera stuck in front of my head. So excuses, yes. So that's that. What you can do, if you've got some stubborn bits which don't dry, you can grab yourself just a bit of tissue and then you can just go along and you can blot a bit off as well. But that there is the makings of your messy background. And the Fluid 100 paper dries really quickly as well. Obviously it dries, I've used the heat tool, but it has actually dried nice and quick with the heat tool, and it's dried relatively flat as well, which is quite nice. It doesn't seem to buckle as much as some watercolour paper does, so that's just another plus point with this one. You are paying a premium. I think this is a premium paper. It's high quality, it's good, and you definitely get what you pay for when using this paper. See, you don't get much in the packet, so you want to use it sparingly, and be confident with it. But you are paying for a premium, so you will get good results with it. So good. So that's that one. Whilst that's just finishing up and setting up and drying, what I'm going to do is I've got my vellum, and I'm going to do some stamping. So I'm just going to prep my vellum. So I am just going to be using my embossing buddy just because I've got it here. Just to prep, because vellum, your greasy fingers do really stick to vellum. And I'm going to take my Versamark. So I need to pick a butterfly. So this is where there is a slight issue with this particular stamp set, but I don't see it as an issue, and I don't want to cut into this. Now some people are buying second stamps. Obviously, it's great, buy a second stamp, but I don't necessarily see the needing it unless you want to cut this up. You can cut these into individually, but I'm happy to leave it as a whole.
Or buy 3, why not?
And selectively edit. So you're going to get extras around, but I'm just going to selectively ink up the part which I want.
You're supposed to be encouraging
I am supposed to be encouraging people to buy. Yes, buy 3 of them. Yes, you need to make sure that you snip all of your stamp sets in half. No, you don't. You just need 1. Do not be buying 2. Obviously, if you want to, then go ahead and do it. But
you meant don't buy 3.
Yeah, don't buy 3. But it's not. I just think you can still work with it. So I'm just doing that, and then I'm just going to then down like so. Good. So you can't see anything on that at all.
Ooh,
there you go.
so
Maybe you
cute.
can now. So that's good. And we're going to use white stamping embossing powder. And attach that on there, and then that sticks to that like that. Decant this back in. Did you pick up on that, Krista, by any chance? Had a very long conversation with Krista last night about that very topic. So I'm going to heat set this now, and I'm just going to heat tool, get this hot, and then melt this. And there we have it. So that has now heat set that perfectly. So I am going to grab the dies, and I'm going to grab that one, which is the detailed one for this particular one here, and then I'm going to grab the large one because this is just one large die for this whole thing. Again, people are buying 2 and then they're separating it. You don't need to. You will need a little bit of washi tape just to run this through, but save your money and buy some more stuff you like from the new catalogue coming up, rather than buying 2 of the one stamp set. So we're just going to die cut this now. So again, this is easy enough. You can pop this in like that. I also going to need to make sure I find the right one. And I will just need to. I think this is why people don't like it, because they've got to manipulate it, and they've got to think about things a little bit differently, and it's not as easy. But all you do is you just use your tools you've got, and there you have it. No snipping, no nothing, no money wasted. So but I will use a little bit of old washi tape which we've got lying around, just to position this in place, and then to make sure that doesn't move, like that, and then run that through. That had to move slightly, never mind. Somebody asked, I can't remember who it was, why do I go forward and back? It's just because for recording, I've got a stand in front of me, so it's easier just to bring it back, and it's easier for me to take it out this way. But I do that normally when I'm crafting, sometimes because it just gives it another run through. And there we have it. So there is my die cut butterfly. It did move a little bit, but that's fine. I can live with that. So good. So that can get popped away. And then I'm going to take my detail one out, which I did take out, but I can't remember where I put it.
I didn't move it. So don't even.
Don't blame me.
Don't even stop.
Don't be blaming me. He's going. It's underneath here somewhere. Where? Underneath here. Is it? Oh no, I put it in front of me. So there we go, got that one there. And I will just do the same thing, bring in the the Suki. And then I will then just pop that in like that. It doesn't necessarily need to be lined up because it's just a detail die. And just run it through. Now this one as well, this is another reason why you would go back, and I may even go back again, because there's detail on it. I want to make sure that I get it cuts in as little times as possible, and look at that, it's just falling out straight away, which is great, which is why I love this machine, and these dies are lovely. The only problem with this is you do need to make sure that you get all of these little bits off of your plate, because if you leave any of them on there and you don't realise it, when you go and put another bit of paper on top of them, you're going, why have I got little squares or little shapes everywhere? Because this would emboss your paper. So do make sure that you take all of that stuff off and you clean your plate down, and again eventually the dirtiness of these plates will affect your die cutting. So if you start seeing the impressions and you don't like it, then it's time to change your plates. We will go for as long as we possibly can without changing our plates. So that's that. Oh, Tommy, you can't. Oh, please, you can see. I'm just going to poke those last few stuff. Those last couple there. There we go. We have it. So we have got one butterfly here, one butterfly right there. I'm going to take this. Now on my original, I cut this, so I'm just going to. I'm going to see. On my original, I coloured the butterfly. So now, do we want to colour the butterfly again, or do we want to leave it white?
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. See, Jay's going, ooh, didn't see that. So, I think the top one needs to be coloured, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to do, see, this is where I should have left my spritz and done this beforehand. One thing, there is one thing I do need, which I haven't got. I will need the black. I will need the black blend, please. I can do it with a water brush, but I'm just going to. I prefer to. I know I get more control with a blend for splatting. You know, I like my splats at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just put a little bit down here. As I think you're on 2 actually. I think Mandy's already counted 1. For something else. And what I'm going to do is I'm just colouring this vellum here with that. So that's now 10. This is where you're gonna get dirty. Vellum and water do not like each other too well, so be careful. They will buckle, but if you don't mind it buckling, then that's fine. Don't worry about it. But Tommy, my God, you're treading on all the paper now. Oh, what is it with cats? They leave you alone, or animals in general. They leave you alone all day long, and then they just remind you. So I'll just heat set that, because the vellum will go slightly funky, but that's fine. I want that, so I'm going to manipulate that so that the wings go right. I want it to go, and it naturally counts. I want to now darken this a little bit, so that's got some pattern on there. Grab your ink pad, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stroke the pad, and then just darken down my edges. I'm not sticking my fingers in the pad, I'm just literally just gently scraping it over the top. And then it's kind of picking up some detail on the end here, just to darken down the edges of the wings. So I'm not sticking my fingers in the pad, I'm just literally I'm close to the pad, but I'm not going into the pads, just to darken down some of these edges. Do the base of the wings, and that's just giving that a little bit of detail on there as well. And that's that. So we are going to stick that on top of that. So I'm going to grab some glue, and I'm going to stick this on top of that butterfly right there, so that can start setting itself up. So that's where it's lovely. The detailed ones match the stamped images as well. You do have a little bit of a problem with this because it may be a little bit wet still. So I just need to... and you can see there, because the glue's on here as well, it's naturally bending that wing as well. The vellum is lovely. So make it work for you. So I'm just going to pop that to one side to let that dry. I may use a heat tool just to finish that one off and just dry it in a second. But what I've got here is I'm going to take my blend, and I just need to think about, that's going to go, do I want to pop that down that one? I'm going to go that way, and then I'm going to pop the sentiment down here like this. So I have chosen the sentiment from Daisy Lane, this one right here, and I quite like it because it says smile. So it's something simple, and that is going to go like this. You will, I would advise you on this one to grab your Stamparatus, just because it's just easier, especially because you're working on paper which is now not 100% flat, just to work with this. So I'm going to have that down like that. That's where that butterfly is going to go. So that's fine, so I'm going to go like that. I will pick that up in a second. I'm going to take the other ones off. Now, we had this for such a long time, we broke our first magnet. These are still the original magnets which we had when we purchased it.
Yeah, that was just the other day.
Jay broke it. He broke it, but good thing is, so we've now got 2 magnets, so we're still having 3. 2, we've now got 3 magnets. So there's always an upside. But yeah, do be careful. If these magnets snap together too quickly, then they will break. There's just so much force in them. You do need to be careful. So just need to make sure I know where I'm popping that, and then that's going to go down like that. So let me just have a little look. Good. And then pick that one up. I will be using, I'm going to use Stays On because it's a blacker ink than Memento, and because it's on a watercolour card, I'm just going to use this one tonight. And if necessary, good thing is over the Stamparatus, if I want to do a second one, I can. Just darkens it down a little bit. So that's that. So I'm happy with that. And let's just move that magnet around, pop that magnet back underneath where it lives, and I'm just going to remove that and clean. I'll just need a block. So if you're using Stays On, you will need a Stays On cleaner, which will remove the solvent. And I still use this in the people will probably go, oh my god, I can't believe you're using it, but I still then scrub it like this. Some people wipe it off with some tissue first because it could, but again, we've had our Stampin' scrubs since day dot, since we become demonstrators, and we've not changed them. So these have lasted us 6 years now, and we've not had any issues with it. So yeah, just something to be aware of. We do have 2, so yeah, but they are the 2 from our original. So good. So that's that. That's going to come out again later on. And there we have it. So I'm going to grab my Magenta Madness. I'm just going to give my cardstock a little bit of a haircut. There's a few. That's fine. And that's just going to go on top like that. So glue on the back here. And stick that down evenly. So glue on that. And then I'll just manipulate this so I get a nice even edge. I may have cut this a little bit wrong somewhere along the line because I've got a bigger end, so just check your measurements. I may need Tommy, you can't sit on there.
Oh, because Minnie's on the big bed. Tommy, come on.
And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to manipulate this just as the glue is drying, and just to I'm kind of bending it back on itself a little bit just to shape it. Could you grab me the guillotine, please, Jay? I just need to take a tiny clip off of that one at the bottom.
The small one.
The small guillotine, yeah. Thank you. So I've made my mat maybe a little bit too big on this one, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it in here, and I'm just literally going to take a sliver off. Now, as of yet, this guillotine isn't available anymore. I'm surprised they haven't made it available. There's just hope that they will bring it back at some point, because I think it's a tool which is really handy to have to take off, look at this, these tiny little strips. If you need to take something off, your paper trimmer, as great as it is, will not be able to take those off. It just will not happen. So just fingers crossed. So I've just cut that down to size. So I've got my card base here. I'm going to grab myself some dimensionals. And we will stick these on here. So I hope you like this card. Yeah, it's different from the first one, and actually I know what I haven't done yet. I haven't splatted. Nearly forgot. Blend, because I was going to work out where I wanted to splat, and that's going to go here. So I want to. So I'm just going to take my blend. Ooh, that one doesn't work, Jake. And I need the light one. The dark is too dry. You need to make sure that your blend is juicy. That isn't counting as the next one because Jake gave me the wrong one.
You didn't say combo.
So I'm just going to go. You need something which is juicier for this to work. The
Yeah, I have
black
been
one.
using the dark.
Because you need something where the liquid can get pulled in the lid, and then you can then.
Someone asked why you were branding the card. I think it was Ka earlier.
Okay, I will just. So I just need to. Down like that. So we've added a little bit of detail around and about like that. So I was bending the card like this because I was just manipulating it because it was still maybe a little bit buckled and wet. I was just basically manipulating it so it was going flat, and the glue was kind of, because it was wanting to buckle this way a little bit. So I'm bending it back, and whilst I'm bending it back, it seems to go flat. This fluid 100 paper, again, I said this earlier on, you are paying a premium for it. It's not the cheapest of papers, but I tell you what, that has gone relatively flat instantly. It's a lovely paper. It is easy to use. So
Sherry said, "No way, Barry. Lol, you're almost at the same as last month." And Mandy said, "No, Barry, nice try. It still remains at 3."
that's that. I hope you're taking into consideration I am doing an extra one tonight.
No, but, well, you are, but I'll be doing, it's a different month anyway, it doesn't matter.
That's gone on like that. And I like the contrast which you have with the basic grey and the pink, the magenta madness. I think that's really, really pops out.
I love basic grey.
Glue again on the back of the one right here. And then we will then just stick that where we want that to be. And that there is card number 1 completed. And there we have it. So I'm going to show you the original. I was a lot more controlled and I was able to get that. So I think I used less ink and less water on that one than I did for this one, but I think they still work. So if you want to get this, I would say, one, you won't have a big camera over your head getting in your way. Stand up and look over it and kind of look down on it as you're going. I just find that's a little bit easier. And there we have it. So, card done tonight. But that's how you do it. So just play. And it's water and ink. You're never going to get it exactly the same. You will never, ever get the same results. Good. Yeah, no special technique, Kath, there. It's just a matter of just manipulating the cardstock to make it go flat and help it go flat. So good. Second card then. I'm just going to move some stuff around. And we are going to grab this one again. So this is the second bit of paper, which we cut. Remember, we cut, if you didn't see it at the beginning, I took a whole sheet of Fluid 100 watercolour paper and I just cut it in half at 3.5 inches. So then gives me 2. So you can then make both of these cards on one piece of paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my embossing buddy again, and I'm just going to prime my paper. Just to take off any. I'm not too worried about this end because I'm not going to be stamping this end. And if I have got greasy bits, I will go over it a little bit, but I'm not too concerned. I can get rid of it easily because I'm not worried in that area. Pop this back in. Stamp. And I'm going to then clean this. So what do I need? I need... No, it doesn't necessarily need to. It's not going to interfere with it. That's fine. So I want these 3 stamps this side here now. So 1, 2 and 3. This was the one which I used on the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink again this portion up over here with my Versamark. And I'm going to stamp this like this at a slight angle here. So they're on, they're off, and that's going to go like that. So just stamp those in. Take off a bit of paper. And we will then pop some white embossing powder on this once again. So just pour this over, just so it sticks. And there we go. And I've got a little bit down here which I need to get rid of. I'm into heat embossing at the moment. I did on the blog post when I wrote for the first card I did. I think I said in there, does anyone go through stages where they have a particular technique they enjoy doing? And water and ink is the technique which I'm playing with at the moment. It just seems to be the one which I'm enjoying. So I'm just going to grab my brush and I'm just going to then just brush away those excess pieces which I don't want. Okay, so that's those ready. So we're going to heat set now. So I'm going to get this nice and hot, and then I'm going to heat set. And before, some of you are probably thinking, why have I heated that from behind? Again, I think because it's a thicker bit of paper, and I you sometimes get a little bit more control from it behind. There's no real reason. Again, it was just another way of being able to hopefully show you the melting as well on camera. But I think you will, sometimes the heat is not as intense from behind. You do run the risk of burning it quicker if you do it from the top. It's more of a slower melt from behind. So just play with the techniques. Front, behind is fine. So there we go. So that there has now given me a white embossing on that bit of white watercolour cardstock. Right, so what I want to do is I need to grab, first of all I just need to just tidy up a little bit of room, because
Do you need help tidying?
I can't work like this because I'm going to, tidying shouldn't be included in the thing. So I'm just going to grab my inks out, so I am going to grab a selection of inks here. I've got myself some blocks which I need as well. Put that in there now. There we go. And good. Alright, so you can, if you want to, you can make your colour palette out by pushing the ink into the lid and taking it from here. I tend to not like doing it that way because I tend to be able to, I want to control my ink a little bit and I don't want it to accidentally contaminate the ink pad once it's turned over if you don't clean it. So I tend to like using my blocks and making myself a little bit of a colour palette. So I kind of just get them out and I'll take a bit of rich raspberry, pop some of that on there. Have a little bit of Poppy Parade. And we kind of have that up the top there. Let's have a little bit of, what have I got here? This is Mango Melody. Down like that.
What did you use, sorry?
Poppy Parade.
Oh, right.
I'm going to take my Pacific Points and I will then have Granny Apple Green over here. So I've kind of got my palette. I'm going to grab myself my water brushes here, and I'm going to be using the large one this time. So if you remember correctly, I may have said to you the other day this one is good for washes, so which is what this is, which is what I'm going to do now. So I will need a bit of tissue paper, just by the side of me here, and I'm going to squeeze. I'm kind of going to colour roughly. Squeeze out my water and I'm kind of just going where the butterflies come down and just going down in a bit of a pattern, saturating, but not being too methodical with it. Just Tommy.
Come on.
Like that. So I've got a pool of water on that now. Probably maybe it may even be a little bit too much water, but this is where if you have a bit of tissue by the side of you, you can do another little bit of mopping up in a moment. So I've got this bit is going to be used as my bit of my palette, and I'm going to grab the smaller one out of all of them, and I'm going to start off with some red. So I'm just going to squeeze some water into that and then make my palette, and then start to dab. I'm not brushing, I'm just kind of dabbing, and then the water is going to pull around and start to go places. and if necessary I can dab a little bit more water around, and then that, well, hopefully, I'm hoping that doesn't look like that's set properly there, but we will see. So that's that one. Clean my brush, and then I pick up some yellow. See, it's a little bit too wet for me, so I'm just going to just take this and then just suck and just kind of take some of this off. Okay. And then let's go back in with the yellow again. And then just again, this will not look anything like the first one, but that's fine. And I'm kind of working with the colours which are going to work nicely with each other next to each other, so the red and the yellow are working quite nice because it's going to create like a little bit of an orange in the middle there. And then I would go with yellow and blue, which will then create a green once they mix and merge. And the red will then obviously turn that into a bit of a purple. So I'm kind of squeezing this as I go along as well, just to add a little bit more water out, depending. How we go on this. So that's just going up here a little bit too far, so I'm just going to just grab that and then just control that back a little bit and just stop that water from going up the end there. So you can see it's created some purple in the middle there. Clean my brush off. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of green.
Come on, settle down.
So it's a little bit wet this side here, so I just want to So who likes doing this technique? Who's done this before? Who has struggled with this before? So round like that. And that's that one, and then we'll finish up with a little bit of rich raspberry. Down at the bottom down here. So a bit of tissue is your friend here. And I'm kind of just dabbing now, and on the bits where it's a little bit dry is when I squeeze a little bit, but I try not to squeeze too much until I really need to. There we have it. And then if you want to pick up a little bit more and intensify it, you can pick up some of the less wet ink, and then you can go in and you'll get like you will get a stronger. You're just concentrating it a little bit more. Good. So clean that as we go. So I'm just squeezing it to drop the ink out. And there we've got a clean brush. So if I want to come back in with another colour again, I can then come back over the top of it over here and just intensify that blue down a little bit more, because it went a little bit too purple in the middle there. So I'm just going to a little bit, it's pulled a little bit up here, which I'm not happy with, so I'm just going to grab a corner of tissue and then just suck up some of that water which is pulled up there. Okay. So good, that's that one.
Mandy said, mine always turns muddy. Betty as well, too scared to try it, don't want to make mud.
We've all made mud, and the only way you're going to not make mud is by practicing what colours work with each other.
I did say to do it in sections, dry in between.
Yes, that is another thing that Jay's just said there. You could do it in sections and dry in between, and that way the ink isn't going to muddy, because it's not going to be as in much, because it's dry. It may still a little bit go muddy, but it won't be as much as it would be if it's wet. So I've got that now. What I'm going to do is I am going to dry this. So you could, another thing you can do, grab a tissue and then you can run this over, but you're going to take a lot of the ink off if you do that. So if you've got a little bit of time and you want to, grab your heat tool and we'll heat set this now. But you do run the risk. Actually no, I am going to have to do it this way, because it's because I've already heat set it. Then I don't want to heat it again and melt that powder, so I'm going to do it this way. So I'll just grab myself a roll and over we go. And then that picks up that ink. It tones it down, but what we can do now is that's a bit dry to work with. Going to do this again. Grab some of that wet, and I will just intensify some areas. And I'll go over this again, and you can work with this and intensify it.
Yeah, that's the only thing with doing it. You can normally just leave it to dry on itself to have an intense quality.
Yes, yeah, that's the only issue with doing it with doing the water wash, which is why the card I did, another card which I didn't do a I didn't heat set. I didn't do the emboss resist, so therefore I could then heat set it without worrying about ruining the.
Oh, what, the third one?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. It's turned dark.
So I'm just intensifying these colours down. Yeah. So if necessary, grab my take off. So a tissue might help you as well. Was it Mandy who asked a question about about mud? Mandy and Betty, yeah. But it depends. The other one which I did was a lot. It's not as intense. But I need that. I want that water. I need that emboss resist. So I don't want to heat set it again, because I may melt that resist. So it goes like that. And then I don't actually want to intensify that rich raspberry. I think the rich raspberry has stayed. It's quite a strong colour anyway. So it's just a nice, subtle mess, okay? Subtle mess. It's a good clean. So then that's ready for your next one. So that's a clean brush. I would now just happily pop that back in the container, and we are done with that. So that's good. So yeah, so again, this is one of those things that if you're doing this, you may want to have a couple around and do some messing. Actually, should I just do a mess for the second? How are we doing for time?
It's 8 o'clock already.
I can be quick on this one. I can be quick. I'm going to grab another bit of fluid 100 paper. He says. We need to trim up. I'm just going to cut this down to, let's take this to 9.5 by 13.6. And I kind of want the same flow, so I'm going to grab my brush here and I'm going to just kind of do a, from the top left down to the bottom right, they just pop some water on there like that. And we're going to do the same, so I'm going to take that one and just dab these in. Like that. Pulled a little bit too much there. Good. Take the yellow. So, and I will try and keep these a little bit more separate this time. I went a little bit too close. That's fine, I need to just pull that up there on the edges. And in. And then mix those two together a little bit because you get your intensity. Just clean that off and I'll just pop a more fresh batch on there. That'll give me a stronger look. Good, so I'm doing this quickly here, so I'm going to go on with my green. That, and then we're moving with blue. So as long as you try not to, if you try not to mix them too much, just let natural mixing happen. And then we'll finish up with a rich raspberry. And sometimes trying to find some water droplets and just let it naturally go out is what you want. Just drop it in and just let it bleed. And there we have it. Okay, so that's that one.
Or flow would be. a nicer word. Let it flow.
Let it flow. Yeah, I suppose let it flow rather than let it bleed is nicer. I just want that to connect with the top of the paper at the top there. So good. So that's that. So what I'm going to do now, Tommy, you're going to have to disappear.
Tommy, come on.
I'm going to grab your heat tool and I'm going to heat set this now. If you've got these pooling bits here, I can just suck a little bit of it up just to... But I don't want to do it too much because I don't want to suck away too much of that colour. But if it's pooling too much, then just take a little bit away. And there we have it. So there's one. Now, if I'd overworked this would have gone to mud. So I really kept it nice, and I just tried not to let it. I just let the water and the paper do what it needs to do. So there's one there where it's a little bit more subtle because we've sucked some of the colour up, and that one there is a little bit more intense, right like that. So I'm just going to clean these up. You may just need to have to take these away from each other, otherwise I do run the risk of making a complete and utter mess in a second and dropping stuff on them, maybe. Just chuck them in the sink and we'll give them a good old clean.
They're already clean.
Are they clean enough?
Yeah.
Happy with that? And it does help if I hand them to play correctly, doesn't it? Otherwise he... So clean the brush, in we go, job's done. So we're just going to finish up these cards now. So I will work on the first one, but I just wanted to, that second one I just wanted to show you what it was like. You don't, if you with the two types, so you can either with the tissue take off the excess or heat set it. You do get a deeper colour with that one. It's lovely. That one there, we're going to grab the Stamparatus once again, and because we're going to be using a photopolymer stamp this time, I'm going to be using the foam mat here. I'm going to pop that in like this, and I'm using the Happy Birthday from the Sweet Ice Cream set. That's going to go like that. And this time I'm definitely going to be using the Stays On because I'm going over embossing powder as well. So on we go. And the Stays On will stain your photopolymer sets. So don't be concerned by that, it is natural. Okay, but I'm just going to do this twice because I just want to just make sure it's covered everything. Even just give it a third application. go. That just pops off of that page now. I'm just going to, I will clean that one now. Just grab my thing. I'm just going to just use the Stays On cleaner, just run that over the top of that just to take off the excess. I'll do it the way that some people do it, take off some of the excess now with a bit of tissue. So you can see both ways of us doing it, and then take my scrub to then finish that off. Okay. That's good. And that's clean. It's stained, but it's clean. I'm happy with that. So let's just leave that where that is for the moment. Take that and take that. So if I, and then that one there could potentially be stuck down the middle. You know what? I'm going off piece here now. I shouldn't, because I don't need to clean it, because I'm going to have to clean it again. Like that. Oh, let's see. That was lucky. There we have it. So there is that one right there for you. So I'll just clean that one more time. So clean it. I will soak it because I need to pick it up. So if anyone's obviously intrigued by this Stampin' scrub as well, you've got one side which is designed for water and the mist, and one side which is to dry it. If you haven't seen it, one side here has got little water droplets, which is, so this is the side which will always be the wet side, and this side here which has got like a little sun on it, which is always your dry side. So just so it just helps you. So if you're going, what side do I clean it? Well, you clean it on the wet side and dry it on the dry side. Okay. So I'm just going to grab myself some basic white thick now, and I'm just going to create my card bases, and then we're done. So I'm going to make these into a 10-fold card. So I'm going to just create this here. So I'm going to cut this down to 29.2 centimeters, which is 11 and a half. I'm going to score it at 14.6, and I'm going to cut it at 10.5. And I've made 2 card bases. I am done with this now, so that can disappear. Keeping these as single layer cards, so that's going to go over like that, and that one there will go on like that. we will just stick this down with some Tombow. And in the centre, so it's just going to be white on white. So again, this I just tend to want to buckle the card when I do this. It just tends to, it just seems to help it dry. But I always tend to want to buckle it that way when I'm doing it, and then I come back a little bit. It just seems to, I don't know. It's just something I do with watercolour cardstock. And then we'll finish up with this one here. Hi, Deb. And then that one. So I will show you what I did with this style of cards on my prototype, because I did do it slightly differently. And there we have it. We have got 1, 2, 3 cards. Messy, apart from this one here. This one I haven't used a Butterfly Brilliance, but on my prototype, which I've done off camera, that was what I did. So what I did here was I heat set the butterflies with gold embossing powder, and then I've just stuck those over the top, and then I've used these the metallic pearls just around. So that was what that one looked like. So, but I've just done it like that, so using the sweet ice cream sentiment, but if you can add your butterflies on here as well to change that. And there we have it. There is our cards. If you want that one on there, there's one I did earlier on. If you need to have a butterfly on it, it can go there, but I don't think it works too much. I think it's too big, which is why I didn't use it on the other card. So good. What do you think? Do you like? So we are going to finish up now, and we're going to pick a winner very soon to receive this card right here. This is the card we're going to be giving away, and then we'll give one of these cards away next time on Wednesday evening. That's what we will do. So Jay's just finishing up with the last names, and he's going to come over and we are going to do a drawing very, very soon. So, comments, thumbs up, did you like it? Any good? Are you going to have a try yourself? Are you going to give this a go? So, excellent. I've got nothing to show you here, so yeah. We'll just wait for Jay to come over.
Yeah, all done now. If you've
All done.
missed the names, add it on the replay.
Yes. So, lovely.
So yes, so Barry did really well. We do have a blog hop coming out next Friday, which you'll see more of this color combination, but not the messy crafting. But if you haven't seen the episode 2 of the Fun Fold Friday, so for this one with the hydrangea, do check it out on our channel. So Barry created
Yes,
that
that's
one.
what I showed had. Yes, episode 2, Fun Fold Friday. Remember, hashtag Fun Fold Friday. I can't believe I did it again. Trying to be young and hip.
What?
Hashtag Fun Fold Friday.
Oh my god. Come on, Suki.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god. Let's
OMG, sorry.
swiftly moving on. So yeah, so we have got everyone's names in there, so well done. We have 41 names tonight.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
So we're going to pick a winner for this one right now. So if Jay wants to do that.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone. Betty, congratulations. Yes.
Betty, well done. That card is coming to you. So again, details popping up along the screen right now. Barry and Jay at Mitosu Crafts. Details, and that card will be coming to you. So let's come on over. That's the one.
Congratulations, Betty. So yes, do pop us an email, and we'll send that as soon as possible.
Excellent.
So yes, just a quick reminder: if you do win, if you can email us instead of any other social media, because we tend to forget to check Facebook messages or Instagram. So there is a couple that we still need to send over.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just easier because I just search the emails and go winners, and then it pops up your details. I don't trawl through all of the others. Yes, just please message us at that address which pops up along the screen if you are a winner.
And if you didn't win and you'd love to win this card or for a chance to win this card, do come back and add another comment in the comment section below, and you'll be put into the random draw on Wednesday. Which are you gonna do Wednesday?
I don't know what I'm doing on Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll just swap. So we'll just do 2 each. So thanks again. Stay
Suki's
safe.
here.
Oh yes, Suki. Oh. Take care. Like and subscribe. Thanks so much.
Bye for now. See you soon. Bye. No, he's done the wrong thing. Hit the wrong button.
Oh, that one.